Hi, everyone. Well, I have been reflecting on the last video that I shared with all of you on step 3 of the 12-step program, Alcoholics Anonymous, which is made a decision to turn my will and my life over to the care of God as I understood Him, or as we understood Him. And I was thinking about the video, and I realized that the principle behind step 3 is faith. And I didn't mention faith. And that is something, that word, I've been really reflecting on this last week as I deepen in the mind in this inward journey of forgiveness, of A Course in Miracles, practicing forgiveness and doing it on this foundation of the 12-step program. And I wanted to read something to you from the big book of Alcoholics Anonymous. And this is on page 62, and it's right before the big book talks about the third step prayer, and actually the third step promises. So this is what I wanted to share with you all. Selfishness, self-centeredness, that's the ego. That we think is the root of our troubles, driven by 100 forms of fear, self-delusion, self-seeking, and self-pity. We step on the toes of our fellows and they retaliate. Sometimes they hurt us, seemingly without provocation. But we invariably find that at some time in the past we have made decisions based on self, based on ego, which later placed us in a position to be hurt. And then it goes on to say in the following paragraph, we must be rid of this selfishness. We must, or it kills us, and God makes that possible. And there often seems no way of entirely getting rid of self, the ego, without His aid. And I was thinking about, placing, the alcoholic, the addict. I mean, this is like the addiction to the ego, to a person, to the ego thinking that I can control life, that I can and it talks about this in the big book, if only I can manage well, life would be great. If people would do as I say, if things would go the way I want them to go. And that's all the illusion of the dream. What I am really coming to a deep recognition of is that the only thing that I can control is my state of mind. And I do that by taking moment by moment, in each moment, stepping into, like when I feel that charge, or I feel like, something out here, something in the dream is upsetting me, I pause and I say, wait a minute, let me come back in my mind, let me choose to see with the Spirit. And that's, for me, that's like deep faith. That's like, oh my gosh, that is like the call for faith. Because in effect, what I feel like is happening is there is an acute awareness that I'm letting go of what the five senses are telling me. My five senses in any given moment are telling me that this is happening and it shouldn't be happening, or that this is good and I want more of it and it should stay this way, or whatever. And I'm really seeing the deep call for faith. And in A Course in Miracles, I love this sentence in chapter 17, Forgiveness and the Holy Relationship, and it's under the section, The Call for Faith. And it says, and it's paragraph 2, there is no problem in any situation that faith will not solve. And I know that for me, when it comes to when it comes to not drinking or using drugs, it was very much and that's why I've been so passionate about blending A Course in Miracles and the 12 steps together, because I can see that as I was healing myself of addiction, of alcohol and drug addiction, the faith that was called for in that was unparalleled. It just was absolutely unparalleled to anything that I had ever experienced before, because for me, drugs and alcohol was metaphorically speaking like the air that I breathed. And when I had the recognition that Spirit did that for me because of my willingness, my honesty, and being open-minded for Spirit, when I surrendered and Spirit came in and I was healed of that, I can see as I hold on to those truths in this inward healing journey of reawakening, waking up from the nightmare, that it's the same thing. That I just have to, it's a reminder, a moment by moment reminder to turn it over to Spirit and have the faith and believe and the hope and continue to surrender that this is doable. Just keep going. We're doing this together. And I just want to emphasize to all of you that if you feel like you're alone and you're on this journey by yourself, you're not. We're holding hands and we're doing this together. The truth is there's one mind here and it's waking up from the nightmare. And that's exactly what's happening. And we walk home together until we realize that there's just one of us here. And I love you, and I wanted to share with you on the principle of faith and just remind you, because it's reminding myself, to keep on keeping on. And I love you, and I'll see you next time. Thank you.